couldn't even fall asleep. People were laughing because they knew my problems and they knew my pain.
Marvin Sapp makes some serious allegations of stalking, contacting his kids, and more than 400 pages, he said, worth of contact.
What's going on with Marvin Sapp at 57? Has he really confirmed everything people have been thinking about him? Marvin Sapp, the famous gospel singer, has always been in the spotlight for his music and personal life.
You say it's just too hard.
But now fans are talking more than ever. What did he reveal? Is it something we already knew or something surprising? Let's find out what Marvin Sapp confirmed.
You know, I grew up in the city, but I grew up in the inner city, of course.
Marvin Sapp was born on January 28, 1967, in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He grew up in a religious family where church and music were very important. His mother, who was a gospel singer, encouraged Marvin to sing in the church choir. This is where his love for music began, and it set him on a path that would change his life. Marvin was raised in a Christian home with strong spiritual values. But like many kids, he faced hard times.
And, you know, grew up to a divorced mom and you know, who divorced my mom. My dad divorced my mom when I was very, very young. And, you know, even though they made sure that I was in church, you know, church wasn't necessarily in me. You know, I got in a lot of trouble, did a lot of things that I shouldn't have done.
Growing up in a tough neighborhood, he dealt with peer pressure and the temptation to do the wrong things. Still, he stayed close to his church and family. This helped him stay strong and keep his faith.
Then one day a major transformation took place in my life and you know, the rest is really more or less history.
After high school, Marvin went to Annan Bible College, a small school where he studied theology. Theology means learning about religion. While there, Marvin joined a gospel group called Commissioned. This was a big break for him. Singing with the group helped him improve his voice and gave him a name in gospel music.
And I've been singing for 50 years. 50 years. So, you know, and never sung, check this out, never sung anything but gospel in my whole life.
In 1996, Marvin decided to start his solo career. He became a contemporary gospel artist and began releasing his own albums. His hard work paid off, but his biggest success came with his album, Thirsty. One song from the album, Never Would Have Made It, became a huge hit. It reached number 14 on the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart and number 1 on the Gospel Songs chart. The album itself was also a big success. It sold over 500,000 copies and got a gold certification. This moment made Marvin Sapp one of the most well-known gospel artists in the world. Marvin's success didn't stop there. He released another album, Here I Am. This album made history, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200 chart. It was the highest charting album by a gospel artist in Billboard's 54-year history. The album's first song, The Best in Me, was also a hit, reaching number 1 on the Billboard Gospel Songs chart. Because of his success, Marvin won many awards, including 7 Stellar Gospel Music Awards in 2009. He became a well-known name in gospel music. Marvin also worked with other famous gospel artists like Kirk Franklin, Donnie McClurkin, and Yolanda Adams. These collaborations helped him grow as an artist and made him a key figure in the gospel music world.
But at 12, I read you smoked weed for the first time.
Yeah.
Did pills at 15.
Yes, 15.
Snorted a line of coke at 18.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? If you've been in the church singing since 4.
Marvin Sapp's journey to success has not been easy. Recently, he shared how his life has been full of struggles, including problems with drugs and alcohol. Though Marvin is now a well-known gospel singer, his story is far from perfect. When Marvin was a kid, his parents got divorced. This was when his life started going down a tough path. At just 12 years old, he began smoking marijuana every day. By 16, he was drinking alcohol and taking pills. At 18, he even tried cocaine for the first time. Marvin said growing up in Grand Rapids, Michigan was not easy. As a teenager, he rebelled and made some bad choices.
Well, I was in the hood, man. I grew up in the hood. And once my mother and father got divorced, you know, as a kid, you rebel.
Unfortunately, many of Marvin's friends did not escape that rough lifestyle. Out of the 5 friends he used to party with, none of them had a happy ending. One became an alcoholic, another still struggles with crack addiction, One is serving a long prison sentence for murder, and another passed away 15 years ago because of drugs.
And that's when I made a decision to really commit my life to who I was singing about.
Even with his troubled past, Marvin turned his life around through faith and gospel music. But Marvin doesn't want people to think he's perfect just because he sings in church. He said his mother made him attend church, but that didn't mean the church was inside him back then. Marvin wants people to know that everyone has flaws, even those who look perfect from the outside. He says he is not someone who walks around with a halo because he has made mistakes too. In 2013, a strange and serious situation put a shadow over his public image. This incident involved a woman named Dr. Telika Patrick, a medical resident who became obsessed with Marvin. Dr. Patrick believed she had a special connection with Marvin, even though he had never met or encouraged her. She started stalking him by sending many messages online. She also shared her feelings on Twitter and YouTube, saying she wanted to have children with him.
First tonight, a Kalamazoo doctor missing for nearly a month. Now Target A is uncovering shocking developments, an alleged obsession with Grand Rapids gospel star Marvin Sapp.
Things got worse when Dr. Patrick tried to join Marvin's church and even showed up at his house. One time, she spoke to Marvin's 3 teenage children, which made him very uncomfortable and worried.
In an exclusive interview, Telika Patrick's ex-husband in California told us he was concerned that she had mental health issues and she may be in danger. Tonight, this connection to Sapp is only adding to that concern.
On August 25, 2013, Marvin talked about this situation during a church service. Without saying her name, he told the church about a woman who was invading his privacy and making his family feel unsafe. Later, people found out that the woman was Dr. Patrick. She had been following Marvin for over a year, claiming she was his spouse. To protect himself and his children, Marvin took legal action against her. He filed for a restraining order against Dr. Patrick, asking the court to stop her from contacting him and his children. He presented over 400 pages of evidence, showing how persistent and unwanted her actions had been. The court granted Marvin's request, and Dr. Patrick was ordered to stay away from him and his family. However, Dr. Patrick's obsession with Marvin did not end there. She disappeared under mysterious circumstances later in 2013, which brought even more attention to the case. Marvin was not directly involved in her disappearance, but the whole situation still affected his public image.
Marvin Sapp makes some serious allegations of stalking, contacting his kids, and more than 400 pages, he said, worth of contact.
The situation took a darker turn when Dr. Telika Patrick's abandoned car was found. Inside the car were her personal items, including a Bible and some cash. This was a strange and unsettling discovery, which led to months of worry and confusion. Eventually, Dr. Patrick's body was found in a lake in Indiana. Her death was ruled an accident, but the mystery around her disappearance and the way she had been obsessed with Marvin Sapp continued to attract attention from the media. For Marvin Sapp, this was a very stressful and upsetting time. The media put him in the spotlight after the disappearance and death of Dr. Patrick, even though he had nothing to do with it. People began to gossip and make up stories about his connection to her. This made a difficult situation even harder for him. Marvin Sapp spoke out to clear things up. He shared his sadness for Dr. Patrick's family and said that he did not have any personal relationship with her.
Live together.
When I found out she went to Michigan, you gotta ask yourself, why did she go to Michigan?
Unfortunately, this was not the first time Marvin Sapp dealt with rumors. As a well-known gospel singer and pastor, his personal life often became the target of gossip. Some people spread stories about affairs and relationships outside his marriage. However, there has never been any real proof of these claims, and Marvin has always denied them. These false stories have hurt his reputation, but Marvin Sapp tries to stay strong. Instead of fighting the rumors, he focuses on his music and his ministry. He lets his work speak for itself. By staying calm and not responding to the gossip, Marvin shows that he won't let lies control his life.
I couldn't even fall asleep.
Marvin's life hasn't been easy. One of the hardest moments was losing his wife, Melinda Prince. They were childhood sweethearts and got married in 1992. Together, they had 3 children, Marvin Jr., Michaela, and Madison. In 2010, their lives changed when Melinda was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. She passed away soon after. Melinda was more than just Marvin's wife. She was his manager and a big part of his work in ministry. Losing her was a heavy blow for Marvin, both personally and professionally. He often talks about how difficult it was to keep going without her support. After Melinda's death, Marvin became a single father. He had to take care of his 3 children while continuing his busy career. Before she passed away, Marvin and Melinda shared responsibilities at home. They balanced family life and his work. But after losing her, Marvin had to figure out how to do everything on his own. Raising his daughters, Michaela and Madison, was especially hard for him. He had to learn to be more nurturing and sensitive. Marvin realized that being a father wasn't just about teaching values. He also had to listen to his kids and help them with their feelings. Sometimes his daughters made choices that went against what he had taught them. Instead of getting angry, Marvin chose to talk things out and understand them better. Marvin says that it wasn't easy, but he knew he had to be there for his children. He put their needs above his own and focused on helping them heal. Losing Melinda left a hole in Marvin's life, but his faith helped him move forward. He found strength in caring for his family and staying connected to God. As time went on, he found a balance in his new life. Being a parent and working professionally was tough at first, but he learned how to blend his work with parenting. He would talk to his children about his music, just like he had once done with Melinda. This open way of communicating allowed for honest conversations, and it helped him feel connected to his children in a deeper way.
Maddie.
For Marvin, being a father is one of his greatest joys. He believes fatherhood gave him the strength he needed, especially during hard times. After losing his wife Melinda, Marvin's children became his biggest support. Their love and presence helped him keep going when he felt lost. They gave him a reason to move forward and find a new purpose in life. Melinda's memory lives on through the K-12 charter school, a school Marvin helped start. This school is a special way for Marvin to honor his wife and give back to the community. Along with his grief, Marvin has also had to deal with his health. He has shared his struggles with diabetes, a condition that forced him to change the way he lives. It hasn't been easy, but Marvin's faith and strong will have helped him manage his health.
My dad was in the male chorus, and he used to sing a song called Just a Closer Walk with Thee.
Sapp opens up about his relationship with his father, who was a big influence on him. Marvin looked up to his dad, who was a wonderful singer, and that's one of the reasons Marvin began singing too. Even though his parents were no longer together, his father stayed close by, having a business just down the street. This allowed Marvin to grow up with a strong male role model who taught him right from wrong and encouraged him to be a leader.
My dad sang his solo, and after hearing it so many times, I knew the words. So one Sunday morning while he was singing it, I decided to walk down there and stand next to him. And he ended up putting the mic in my face, and I ended up singing the words on perfect pitch. And
one of Marvin's biggest hits, Never Would Have Made It, came from the grief he felt after his father died. His wife encouraged him to record the song, and he's thankful that he listened to her because it became a huge success. Now, the song's impact is so big that there's a whole movie about it. Marvin Sapp shares that while prayer is essential, it's also crucial to talk to someone trained to help, especially during hard times. He believes that finding people who understand what you're going through, such as counselors, can make a big difference. Marvin tells people that grief never completely goes away, but you learn to manage it. Some days are hard and some days are better. What matters is that you know how to handle it when it comes back.
You say it's just too hard.
After losing his father, he was lost in pain. He didn't know how he would go on, but in his heart, he knew God would help him get through. He poured these feelings into the song. The simple words were his prayer to God, and it touched so many people who were going through their own struggles. His song became a message of hope for anyone who felt lost or broken. He is known for his amazing voice and powerful songs that speak from the heart. His music isn't just for entertainment. It's for people who need to hear messages of strength, hope, and faith. Marvin connects with his audience on a deep level, helping them face their own hardships. Aside from his music, Marvin is also a pastor. He founded the Lighthouse Full Life Center Church in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and serves as its senior pastor. This gives him another way to share his faith and help people find peace. By being both a musician and a pastor, he touches lives in many ways, whether through his uplifting songs or inspiring sermons. His work brings people closer to their faith in each other.
People were laughing, 'cause they knew my problems.
Sapp has managed to stay out of scandals for over 30 years, which is rare in the spotlight. In a recent interview on DJ Vlad's Vlad TV, Sapp opened up about how he has stayed out of trouble and kept his career clean. He was very honest about the struggles he faces. When asked about avoiding scandals, Marvin said, "I'm not perfect, not even close." He admitted that he has his own problems and bad habits. Every day he faces challenges that could lead him into trouble. But despite these struggles, he has managed to stay on track. He believes that when you achieve success, people expect more from you. To whom much is given, much more is expected, he explained. Sapp also talked about how his success has changed his life. Because of his successful career, he is more financially stable than many people. However, he made it clear that money is not what keeps him grounded. "It's not all about money for me," he said. His main motivation is his faith. He believes his relationship with God helps him stay focused. Sapp said that his fear of God helps him avoid mistakes. He also pointed out that in his line of work, one wrong move can ruin everything. In ministry, you are one mistake away from destroying your entire career, he said. This is why he is careful with his actions and decisions. For Marvin Sapp, it's not about the money, it's about staying true to his values and keeping his career and reputation safe. Sapp believes that discipline is the key to living a happy and successful life. He understands that it's not just about what people see on the outside, but also how he behaves when no one is looking. As a father of 3, he knows that staying disciplined has helped him avoid unnecessary drama and problems in his life. He takes full responsibility for his actions and doesn't blame others for the challenges he faces. Many people look up to him for spiritual guidance, and he feels the weight of that responsibility. Marvin wants to set a good example for the Christian community, showing that you don't need to act in a dramatic or wrong way to get attention. He gets upset when the media shows people, including Christians, in a negative light. Marvin believes that the world should see more examples of positive behavior, not scandals. He hopes that through his life, others can see that living with discipline and integrity is the best way to inspire and lead others.
I am not raising no disrespectful, drugged-out alcoholic.
You need to become more of a leader, son.
Marvin Sapp's life story is now a movie called Never Would Have Made It, The Marvin Sapp Story, and it's touching many hearts. The movie stars Chaz Lamar Shepard, who plays Marvin Sapp. Sapp says he didn't go looking for a movie deal. It found him. He shared with Essence that people were interested in his story because he went through a lot of tough times but still found success. He believes that telling his story can help others who are also facing hard times. Sapp's life hasn't been easy. When he was younger, he faced painful experiences that changed his life. But he believes his journey shows that no matter how tough life gets, there is always hope. Marvin Sapp thinks that everyone has a never would have made it moment. These are the times when it feels like you can't go on, but somehow you find the strength to keep going. That's why he wanted to make this film, to remind people they are not alone in their struggles. Making this movie wasn't easy for Sapp. He had to be very open about his past, sharing both the good and the bad. It's hard to be so honest because people can sometimes judge you, but Sapp wants others to know that it's okay to face difficulties and that they too can overcome them. Sapp recently opened up about his life in the movie Never Would Have Made It. He explained that he tried to be translucent, which means he shared parts of his life to help others, but kept some things private. For example, he talked about his struggles with addiction and a serious illness, but he didn't go into every detail. Marvin feels it's important to share enough of the truth to make his story helpful, but he also needs to stay focused on his main job, which is preaching the gospel. Making this movie was a humbling experience for Marvin. He had the chance to work with TV One and Swirl Films to tell his story. Marvin was involved in every step of the process, From choosing the actors to working on production, he is thankful for the opportunity and doesn't take it for granted. Through Never Would Have Made It, Marvin wants people to feel encouraged. He hopes parents who are worried about their children's faith will remember there's always hope. He also wants people to know that God can heal, even when things seem hopeless. Finally, Marvin believes that even if God doesn't answer prayers in the way we want, He can still give us the strength to keep going. Marvin Sapp recently opened up about being single and how he feels about marriage. He shared that he's been on his own for 12 years now. During this time, Marvin has grown and learned a lot about himself. Now he feels ready to get married again. He believes that he is a better man when he has a wife by his side. Marvin also talked about his kids and how fast they are growing up. His son recently got engaged, which made Marvin very happy. His daughter has a boyfriend, and his youngest daughter also has someone special in her life. Marvin joked that he doesn't want to be the only one in the family without someone to share life with. He dreams of all of them being booed up together, enjoying life with their partners. Even though Marvin has faced many challenges in his life, he stays strong and hopeful. He hopes his story can inspire others who are going through tough times. Marvin wants people to know that no matter what happens, it's possible to rise above hard times and keep going. Marvin's message is simple: never give up. Life can be difficult, but with faith and strength, better days will come. As he looks forward to finding love again, Marvin reminds us all that it's never too late to believe in happiness and new beginnings.